It's so bright out here. I don't know how you stand it.
Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. I can't wait here forever.
I welcome you, friend. How may I serve you? Quite the opposite, in fact. The soldiers are some of our best customers, for we offer supplies and wares they cannot obtain by other means. It was Risad's idea to come here now, while the land is in turmoil. Where others saw only danger, he saw opportunity.
If you've come to Solitude to join the Legion, speak to Rika. If not, just keep your nose clean while you're here, or you'll end up like Roggvir. You're just in time to say hello to Roggvir. He's the sorry bastard who's going to be executed. A gate guard who let Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he killed the High King.
They can't hurt Uncle Roggvir. Tell them he didn't do it.
Positions.
Sorry, you need to go home. Go home and stay there until your mother...
Get on with it!
From the castle, we used to just be able to see Solitude over the mountains. That's exactly what I'd imagined.
Best she know now, Advar.
You're all heart, Vivian.
Roggvir, you helped Ulfric Stormcloak escape the city after he murdered High King Torygg. By opening that gate for Ulfric, you betrayed the people of Solitude.
He doesn't deserve to speak!
There was no murder. Ulfric challenged Torygg. He beat the High King in fair combat. Such is our way. Such is the ancient custom of Skyrim and all Nords.
Boo!
On this day, I go to Sovngarde.
Some gate guard you were!
He died well.
Good riddance to bad rubbish, I say.
You wouldn't have a few minutes to run down to the docks, would you? Well, I've got a shipment of spices the East Empire Company is holding up. I need someone to convince them to release it.
Get your fresh fruit and produce here.
Great. Get back to me when you're done and I'll give you something for your time.
Fresh fish, straight from the fjord.
They're adequate. Honestly, I rely on the business brought in by the burning of King Olaf, and that's not likely to happen this year.
Leeks and cabbages, fresh and ripe.
Well, it's a great big festival put on by the bards every year. They burn an effigy of old King Olaf. It's quite a bit of fun. The bards give out spiced wine during the festival, so they put it in a big order. And then, for weeks after, demand is so high, I can barely keep up. But with the death of High King Torygg, the festival has been declared in poor taste. So it looks like it won't happen this year.
Fresh and ripe.
Oh yes, a secret family recipe. The only good thing my father Octave ever did. In fact, it's so good, no one else in Skyrim even tries to make any.
You look like you could do with a ripe apple, or a tomato, cabbage, or leek.
Fresh fish, straight from the fjord.
I have my ways, but it's not easy these days. The Black Blood Marauders have been plundering ships off the coast. A lot of people been hurt by their foolishness. That I do. I had a messenger from Dragon Bridge stop here on his way to the Blue Palace not too long ago. He was very nervous. Mentioned something about needing help.
Plenty of fresh fish for you. We're down at the docks. There are a few good spots if you can avoid the East Empire Company workers and those red wave thugs. Sorry, yes. It's been hard on her. The girl misses her uncle. I've tried to explain that Roggvir did something bad, and that we all have to be accountable for our actions. But the child feels what she will.
Oh, let me just drop everything to help you. I don't mind, really. It is when my customers waste time chatting and not buying. Radiant Raiment has the finest attire in all of Skyrim. That is how we get business.
Sorry, I was lost in thought. I'm planning my wedding, you see. So many details to work out. Ah, yes. If she wants to pay the 2,000 gold tariff, then we'll be all set. That would be acceptable. You can tell Yvette San her shipment will be brought up to Solitude shortly.
Thank you so much. I swear it's a fight with them every shipment. Here's something for your troubles.
Apples, tomatoes, leeks.
Good luck out there. Seems like a tough time to be wandering Skyrim.
You got business at the stables? Been about 8 years now. I used to be a mercenary, but one trip to Ravenscar Hollow cured me of that. There's hagravens in that cave with talons like daggers. They'll open your bowels quick as you wink if you let them get close. A creature like that'll make a man think long and hard about what he wants out of life.
Is this about the stables? My husband Gaiman handles the business.
We could always use help picking crops if you need a few extra coins.
You probably want someone else. I'm just the stable boy. I hate it. Everyone feels sorry for me, so they don't treat me too bad, but... Both my parents were in the Legion. There was an ambush. Katla said she'd feed me if I could make myself useful. I'd take care of the animals, run errands, that kind of thing. I guess it could be worse, but I'm sick of sleeping outside with the horses. I want a real home, real parents, not this.
Who's there?
I'm okay with the dark, but I've spent more than my share of time in caves already.
Who's there? That'll teach you. Who's there?
care of that. I'd stay away if I were you. I'm on my way to a giant camp, and I can't guarantee those beasts won't think you're part of the offering. Keep your distance, and you shouldn't have anything to worry about. The cow, of course. Others do it differently. But I found that an annual offering usually keeps the giants away from our livestock. Some think it's superstition, but I believe it works. I've yet to have a giant kill any of my livestock. It's tradition. We mark the animal as a way to let the giants know we're giving it to them willingly. Sort of a peace offering. Thanks. You take care of yourself now.
First bit of good news I've had since I set sail a year ago. Here's your cut. I'd better get going.
I don't like taking orders from a boy, but I need the gold.
I plan to spend all the days I got left on the water. It's where I belong.
Your ancestors wouldn't want this, Silus.
Why should I hide from it? This is my family's legacy.
It's the past. Dead oaths on dead lips. Let it stay there.
The museum is opening, Medina.
I beg you, don't go into Silus's museum. Silus comes from one of the oldest families in Dawnstar. They have a complicated history. Several of his ancestors belonged to the Mythic Dawn, the cult that almost destroyed Tamriel. His family's involvement was only found out well after the crisis had died down, but it still ruined their reputation. They were outcasts. And now Silus is back, and this museum to the Mythic Dawn is his way of trying to rebuild his family's pride. It's misguided.
And here comes my first visitor. The Museum of the Mythic Dawn is open, friend. Never mind that. Medina is a good woman, but I have my own reasons for opening this museum, and I'm not changing my mind. I have a collection of artifacts from the group that toppled an empire. Their importance to history cannot be forgotten. Why don't you come in? You can browse the displays and we can talk. I have a job you look perfect for. Let's talk inside. Feel free to look around. Come talk to me when you're ready to discuss that job I mentioned. The tapestries hung here and outside were found in hideouts, where members of the Mythic Dawn would meet and plot. The cult's greatest accomplishment was the assassination of the Septim dynasty and the opening of the Oblivion Gates. Those robes were worn during the Mythic Dawn's secret meetings, where they plotted to bring the Daedra Mehrunes Dagon into Tamriel. Each bolt of yarn used to make the rope was colored with the dye, made from sacrificial blood. That burned paper is all that remains of the fabled Mysterium Xarxes, the blasphemous book written by Mehrunes Dagon himself. It's said that Mankar Cameron used the book to open a portal to a paradise, where all his followers would live forever. Ah, yes. That scabbard. Notice the insignia? An Oblivion Gate. A key symbol of Mehrunes Dagon, the patron Daedra of the Mythic Dawn. The commentaries on the Mysterium Xarxes were written by the Mythic Dawn cult leader, Mankar Cameron. He promised a paradise awaited his followers when they died, that they would be reborn by Mehrunes Dagon's side. Did you have any questions about the museum, or would you rather talk business? It's no secret that my family were once members of the Mythic Dawn. One of my forefathers was even chosen to assassinate Uri of Septim himself. We hid from our past for years, became tradesmen, people of coin and influence. But I realized that the Mythic Dawn's importance, our importance, to history cannot be denied. I'll see everyone in Tamriel remember that for a moment, we held the fate of the world in our hands, for good or ill. A little history first. After the Oblivion Crisis, a number of groups cropped up dedicated to wiping out the remnants of the Mythic Dawn. One of these groups found Mehrunes Razor, the artifact of Dagon. They split it into 3 fragments and pledged to keep them apart forever. That was almost 150 years ago, and the pieces are still being kept by the descendants of that group, and they're right here, in Skyrim. At least 2 of the owners, Gunzel and Drascua, are dangerous marauders, and the 3rd owner, Jorgen, I only know he lives in Morthal. Here are my notes about them. I'll gladly pay you for getting the pieces any way you can. No questions asked. The Razor is Mehrunes Dagon's personal artifact. It has always heralded bloody change and carnage. It's held many names. Dagger of the Final Wounds, Bane of the Righteous, the Kingslayer. The Mythic Dawn worshipped Dagon as a god. Having his razor would be invaluable to my collection. Look at them. The legendary sharpness of a Daedric weapon. Marvelous. And here's your payment for the shards. We just need the hilt and the pommel now. Good luck finding the fragments.
Make it bleeding!
come from? Done and done. Where'd you come from? That'll teach you.
What's the Jarl going to do about it?
How are we supposed to feel safe in our own homes?
Please, enough already.
Is that fur coming out of your ears?
Please, go about your business.
We've no need for wizards in our midst.
Morthal has enough problems as it is.
It's no use. Let's get back to it then. The mill is my responsibility. And that's what I care about, that's all. Understand? Don't know what you're talking about, stranger. I've heard of him. My father had suspicions about his connection to the Mythic Dawn. Guess they were true. I don't need this. My family wasted 8 generations keeping that razor safe from a dead cult. As far as I care, it can stay locked in my house. Easy. Here. These are the keys. The hilt is in a chest in my house. Just don't hurt anyone. All right then.
Well, aren't you the handsome one? You and I should spend some time together.
Nice. Need a ride? Where do you want to go? Climb and back and we'll be off. Ever been to Markarth? Some say it was built by the dwarves.